Welcome back, guys, to the newest story of a guy who's so famous in the school that sometimes it gets toxic to even breathe in the school and make friends, because all of the girls chasing him are top-notch beauties. And if they were all bitches, maybe the other guys wouldn't have given him such a hard time. But every girl after Saku was actually kind and sweet, and so his story continues as the second year of high school begins and his friend Yua runs into him on the way. As you can see, she's one of the dream girls of all the boys. And thanks to that, Saka got a new nickname from his haters, that being fuckboy, but he never cared and always stayed positive, so Yua adds the good news that they are in the same class. But Saka got even happier when he saw the whole gang was placed together. In this gang there is another girl named Hiragi, a social butterfly and the idol of the school, especially bold on making moves on Saku. But there are also two guys in the group, Asano and Hiragi, both excellent in their own way. Then next in the group is Haru, the fire girl, who was the star of the basketball team, and beside her is Yuzuki, a cold beauty. No wonder the whole group shines like stars, but Saku is the only one receiving hate because all these girls so far are after him. With the introductions done, the class starts and Iwanami again becomes their homeroom teacher like last time. He's a chill dude and he already knew the best person to take over the role of class rep is Saku. Everyone was going to vote for him, so he didn't even ask. Saku always makes fun of himself and shows he never cares about the hate he gets. And this year Hiragi volunteers for vice rep again. She always dumps the work on Saku, but she stays optimistic like always. After classes end, Saku goes to the rooftop to meet Iwanami, who has a job for him. There is this one student skipping out on school. His name is Yamazaki, a typical otaku nerd, and Iwanami wants Saku to bring him back on track. Saku hates how he always makes him do these dirty jobs. But Iwanami knew better than anyone that only a kid can understand another kid's feelings. His words were spot on, so Saku took the job, and while going home he saw this beauty again. Her name was Asuka and they had met last year right at this same spot. At that time two kids were bullying someone and pushed him into the river, so instead of helping, Asuka jumped in to make the moment fun. That thoughtful gesture made those two bullies turn into good kids as they ended up joining in on the fun, and so they all returned laughing and having a joyous moment. It was that moment their friendship began. So here they are again spending time talking about this and that, but at one point the conversation took a serious turn and Asuka asked what he would do if she and the girls he's closest to were drowning. If she was in that situation, she admits she would save Saku without hesitation. Her pickup lines and advances were on another level, and she knew Saku would sacrifice himself to save both if such a situation came up. Seriously. Out of every girl, this one is simply on a whole different level. But back to the main topic, that shut-in guy was the troublesome job and Yuzuki noticed instantly, so Saku let her in on the mission he received and Yuzuki offered to tag along. But Saku apologized because he had already asked Yua to come. For this he borrowed a bicycle from his friend and teased Yua that he was strong enough to carry her weight. That playful teasing and fun talk is what makes him attractive. That attracts girls like sugar attracts ants, but sometimes his jokes go too far to the point that murdering him seems reasonable. Well, anyway, Saku is the type who's like take it or leave it, a very forward person. That's why he asked Yua to help talk with Yamazaki, since she's an expert at closing the gap between people. They told Yamazaki's mother they came to check on him as they were worried. She was worried as well because her son wasn't coming out of his room, so Saku asked her not to worry since he might open up to them. Then Saku went up with Yua, but when Yamazaki heard it was him, the boy went thermonuclear because for an introvert like him, an extrovert like Saku was a natural enemy. And as for Yua, he hated her too for being in Saku's harem. Because they are at the top while he is stuck at the bottom, and he can't understand why, because all he likes is anime and stuff. So Yua started doing her magic and began finding common ground. But that was enough for day one, so they left. Then next week Saku asked Hiragi to tag along. She's an ace at shooting straight honest answers and she never hides her affection for Saku, sometimes even gets naughty with him. So with this and that they arrived again and Hiragi introduced herself. But Yamazaki called her a floozy queen of Saku's harem who came only to impress Saku, and shockingly Hiragi admitted it openly, and because of that Yamazaki got hurt and Hiragi instantly figured out that this guy was dumped by a girl. But unlike Yamazaki, she said even if Saku rejected her she wouldn't resent him, she would simply accept that she wasn't the right one for him. With that said, Yamazaki finally hit his breaking point and Saku went downstairs to take permission from his mom because he was about to pull a stunt to get Yamazaki out. After he got permission, he forced his way into the room because he had enough of the nonsense. Now, Yamazaki's problem with them was simply because they were famous, so Saku told him how everyone pushes themselves to become good at what they are, but since Yamazaki even had trouble talking, Saku taught him 3 words to break the ice, which works like magic: why, I think, and me too. He demonstrated how simple it was to start a conversation with these, then he let Yamazaki know that he used to be an otaku too. Hell, he still is, because he had read all the manga Yamazaki talked about. That's why Saku told him not to hate him or anyone else without knowing them first. Saku used to be a genius with good looks, but he got mocked for the smallest mistakes. So he started missing top scores in competition, thinking this might make him blend in. But that made things even worse, so a teacher helped him realize to let it go, let people think what they want and keep doing what he is best at. Finally Yamazaki's walls melted and he opened up, but more or less Saku already knew. A girl got close to Yamazaki, sweet-talked him, and when he gathered courage to confess, she ditched him because she wanted someone else. Or more specifically, she told him not to be delusional right to his face. That was cruel, so Yamazaki asked Saku to train him, but bro refused because he wasn't going to spare time every day on him. So he compromised and gave him 3 weeks to get back on his feet. With this, Yamazaki set his goal to show that girl he can be cool too. The fire lit up and the boys went crazy, because who doesn't love this kind of revenge arc? Then finally Yamazaki stepped out of his room and to celebrate Hiragi offered to give him a haircut. Then later she and Saku were sitting in the park, she was head over heels for him and never hides it. She was deeply wishing that Saku chooses her out every other girl one day, but Saku prefers taking things slow. After that Yamazaki came to school and got nervous, but Saku became his wingman. He started by making fun of Yamazaki and openly revealed that the boy got ditched by his crush, and said let them laugh because that's how he will learn to blend in and become carefree. This started the friendship naturally to the point Yamazaki didn't even realize. After this he joined Saku's group for lunch, where the others asked him about that girl and how he misunderstood her intentions. For starters, Yamazaki said he was in a group of otaku introverts and she was part of it, but suddenly she started talking to him more than usual, even offering him a sip from her own drink. Honestly, who wouldn't get the wrong idea after that? So when he confessed, she made fun of him and said she was only doing it to make another guy jealous. This was really messed up. Everyone showed sympathy and support to Guy, and cheered Yamazaki on to become the best version of himself and get back at that moron. So with this, let's end the video for today, but don't worry, the next part is right on its way, so make sure you have subscribed to the channel and hit the bell icon or else you might miss it. Till then, take care.